for the announcement of the starting lineups between for Rutgers and Maryland. Lou Brogno along with Dick Lloyd, and as we mentioned in the pregame, a very big game for both ball clubs. Rutgers at 12-3, Maryland 13-3. The two ball clubs have one common opponent this year. That was the University of Virginia. Rutgers playing the Cavaliers down in the Orange Bowl tournament and losing to Virginia by the score of 80-73, and Maryland also losing to Virginia. Head coach Chris Weller of Maryland comes in with a career record of 250 wins, 109 losses. And Dick, these two programs are very similar. They have been successful for quite a long time.
Well, that's the other thing. We talked about two great teams, and both teams with great athletes, but we also have two of the top coaches in the country that have been real forces in the women's game ever since the AIAW. As a matter of fact, Chris Weller has been at Maryland and been their coach, and of course Teresa Grant's here. So that's going to make for a great ball game. Rutgers, of course, gets the edge with the home court advantage. They have in the series, they've won the last four. That gives them a little bit of an advantage there. But when these two teams get together, and with that national ranking and a chance to move up or go down at stake, we should see both teams playing very tough.
You mentioned that Rutgers has won the last four meetings between these two ball clubs. Maryland holds a 10-7 overall advantage, but it is Rutgers who is streaking in this series. And Rutgers streaking at home. We mentioned 38 consecutive victories on the floor here of the Athletic Center. Their last loss in 1985 against Penn State. And the starting lineup's about to be announced. First, the Terrapins of Maryland. Number 12 in the nation, 13 up and 3 down. They are 5-1 in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And Rutgers at 12-3, they are undefeated in the Atlantic 10. Pretty good crowd here tonight for this game between the two nationally ranked ball clubs. And the Maryland Lady Terps are being announced. Let's take a look at their starting lineup. As we mentioned in the pregame, very impressive scoring totals for these starters. At the forwards, they will go with 6'3" junior Vicky Bullock from Martinsburg, West Virginia. She's averaging 18.8 points per game. She is the Lady Terps' leading scorer. Also at the other forward slot, it is Deanna Tate, averaging 12.1 points per game. She's a 5'6" junior from Gastonia, North Carolina. The center, Christy Winters, 12.3 points per game, 6'2" sophomore from Reston, Virginia. And in the backcourt, it is Lisa Brown, averaging 16.4 points per game. She's the second leading scorer on the ball club. She averaged 14 points a game last year, 5'8" senior from Chesapeake, Virginia. And Edna Campbell, 5'8" sophomore out of Pittsburgh, plays the other guard position. Maryland coached by Chris Weller. We mentioned her record, 250 career victories against 109 losses. For the Lady Knights of Rutgers, they will start at the forward slots. Freshman Vicky Pikett, 6-foot freshman out of Hightstown, averaging 11.3 points per game. And as Dick Lloyd mentioned in the pregame, a very pleasant surprise for Teresa Grentz this year. At the other forward, it is All-American Sue Wicks, averaging 25.8 points per game, leading the Lady Knights in that category. She is a 6'3" senior from Center Mauritius, New York. She also leads the team in blocks and steals. The center will be Missy Lender, 11.1 points per game, hitting 58% from the field. She's a 6'2" junior from Enola, Pennsylvania. And in the backcourt, it is Talisha Austin, 11.1 points per game, a 5'9" junior out of Patterson. And at the point guard slot, Janet Malou, 5'6" junior from Milltown, leading the Lady Knights in assists. The head coach of Rutgers, Teresa Grentz, 270 career victories, 83 losses. And right now, everyone here at the Athletic Center rising for our national anthem. Dick, we mentioned these two ball clubs are not strangers to each other. They did play earlier this year. Rutgers defeating Maryland by the score of 79-76. There is the last meeting. It was back in December in the Orange Bowl tournament. Sue Wicks had an outstanding game, scoring 32 points in that effort. She just took control.
Well, we said before that Maryland's going to have to be very careful. They can't let Rutgers jump out of that lead and then try and play catch-up, because that's what happened in that tournament. It's very difficult to do. You get down by 17. I tried to find out from Coach Weller what defense she was going to play, but she didn't want to give out that secret. She opened last time in the zone, and Rutgers ripped it apart. It'll be interesting to see if they do that again or they go with the man.
Maryland in their road red uniforms, trimmed with white numerals and the numerals trimmed with black. A couple of players on Maryland, you may notice, have some pretty heavy-duty knee braces, namely Christy Winters. And Rutgers coming out in their home white uniforms, trimmed with the scarlet and black numerals. Sue Wicks will jump against Vicky Bullitt. And this game is underway. Tap controlled by Maryland, and the Lady Terps will move right to left on your screen. Quickly, Tate goes baseline, and they get it back outside. Lisa Brown is number 20. Turnaround by Winters is in. It takes a good bounce for Maryland, and the Lady Terps lead 2-0. Pressure applied by Maryland, but quickly up court come the Lady Knights. This is T. Austin, number 31, and she works with Janet Maloof in the back court. Pikett to Maloof. Bounce pass. Austin, the jumper, good.
Maryland did come out in the zone, although they put a little bit of pressure on, but it looks like a zone. Rutgers opening up from the outside.
We're tied at a bucket apiece, and Maryland quickly up court. Again, it is Tate, nearly tied up by Maloof. Loses the ball, and it is traveling against Tate.
We said they were similar teams, and they both have the same game plan. Rutgers there putting some pressure on it about three-quarter court and turning that, causing that turnover.
Here is Maloof. Bounce pass to Lender. Missy Lender comes out. Back to Austin. Into Wicks in the paint. Sue puts it up, doesn't go. And the rebound to Maryland. This is Lisa Brown with the basketball. Tate bounce pass. Winters loses the ball, puts it up short. Rebound underneath, put up, no good. And Pikett with the rebound for Rutgers.
Maryland last time down had played man-to-man. It looks like they're coming out with man-to-man.
Austin moves to the paint. 10 seconds on the 30-second shot clock, and there is a 30-second shot clock in women's college basketball. That pass knocked out of bounds by Maryland.
Knocked out by Edna Campbell, and I like her. I watched her in practice today, and afterwards I came down and told the coach, I don't know how well she's playing for you, but I love the way she practiced. She really works hard, and she's matched up right now against Wicks. You see her with her hands up now, trying to stay in front of Sue.
Pikett will throw in and finds a cutting Lender who has it roll off the rim. Pikett with good hustle tracks it down in the corner. The freshman gets it out to Maloof, and she'll set it up. At the top of the key, here's Austin, moves baseline, bounce pass away from Wicks. Wicks had the position, but the pass goes astray, and Maryland will take over on the turnover.
Maryland trying to play a little bit of a trick defense. They're trying to switch off on Sue Wicks, always have someone in front of her, someone in back of her. It'll be interesting to see if that gives them some problems against the Rutgers offense.
Tied at 2, 17:50 remaining first half. Lisa Brown moves towards the paint, bounce pass Tate, baseline, now she gets it back to Winters, who scores, and a nice play by Tate.
Maryland does do a great job on offense of penetrating. They like to put that ball on the floor, take it into that zone that Rutgers is playing, get that shot a little closer to the basket. Don't seem to hit from long range, but not bad shooters from 10 to 12.
Wicks double team, scores anyway. We are tied at 4. This is Bullitt and Brown. Vicky Bullitt from the foul line doesn't go. Rebound Maloof. And she'll push the ball up court for the Lady Knights. Up ahead to Pikett. Pulls up, jumper short. Bullitt with the rebound.
Maryland's going to have to watch Rutgers transition games. That's one of their best offensive weapons, and I'm sure Chris Weller will want the defense to slow that break down.
Wide open from the foul line is Bullitt, but she cannot connect. And a jump ball called as Maloof ties up Tate. Alternating possession goes to Rutgers, and the Lady Knights will throw it inside court. A lot of action so far, but not a whole lot of scoring. Here's Austin moving towards the basket, doesn't go, in and out. And we remain tied at 4. 16:20 remaining first half. This is Campbell who forces one up. Maloof with the rebound. It's a 4-on-3. Maloof takes it to the hoop, doesn't go. A poor shot by Maloof. And Brown pulls it down.
Poor shot, Lou, but I'll tell you, that's the second time Rutgers got their transition game gone. Maryland's going to have to stop that.
Turnaround, Winters good. Nice, sweet turnaround by Christy Winters, who has her 4th point of the game. Here is Pikett. Yes.
Nice feed by Wicks, too. She drove in. Of course, the defense is going to be drawn to her right away. Saw the open player for the easy 8-foot jumper.
We're tied at 6, 15:20 remaining. First half.
Missy Lender battling Bullitt inside really well, trying to front her all the time and then get the rebounding position.
Maloof 3-on-2 for Rutgers. Great pass to Austin.
That's why Maloof is so important to them. She gets the ball in her hands, and they all look for her, give her the ball, and she pushes it up. They got that transition game going.
Rutgers by a bucket, 8-6 into Bullitt, who lays it up. Doesn't go. Rebound Wicks. Here is Austin. Bounce past Maloof. She will pull it out. Into Pikett. Goes baseline, up and in.
And that's where the freshman's been doing such a great job inside. She can make that 8 or 10-foot jumper, but she gives Rutgers another inside threat.
Tate stolen by Wicks.
And that's great defense, Lou. Sue Wicks came around over the top there. Super defense on that post player.
Maloof to Pikett. Austin in the corner. Wicks turn around. Good.
Rutgers getting a little momentum, really getting the swing of it now. Maryland wanting that and needing that timeout.
And a timeout on the floor. Maryland calls for time. 14:09 remaining first half. Rutgers 12 and Maryland 6.
Please volunteer for the American Red Cross.
Well, Chris Weller not wasting any time going for that timeout, Dick, as Rutgers reeled off 6 straight points and did it in impressive style.
I think that was a good call in the timeout. She's got to make sure she does something to adjust for that transition game. Got to make sure that when Maloof has the ball, Maryland's aware of that, because she'll push it down and try and go for that easy score on the layup. She doesn't have it, bring it back out. They got their offense going very well, too.
All right, Maryland will throw it in, and Lisa Brown, Rutgers applying some full court pressure. Carla Holmes, number 14, into the game now for the Lady Terps. She's in the backcourt with Brown. Here is Holmes, 3-pointer, good. Carla Holmes buries one from 3-point range.
Great scouting report, because they said she'll come off the bench and start throwing it up 3-point range right away, and sure enough, she did.
12-9 the score. Here is Wicks, finds Pikett. Vicky goes in the paint, loses, but draws the foul. So Vicky Pikett will go to the line, the freshman from Hightstown.
That's what makes her so good, Lou. She's really a great athlete, so she tempts you with that outside shot. If you come on her too much, she's able to take it to the basket, and that time she took it to the basket and used a little bit of power and drew the foul.
Vicky shooting 67% from the line, hits the first. It's a 4-point Rutgers lead. Second on the way, good. 14-9, 5-point Lady Knight lead. 13.5 remaining first half. Holmes traveling. Good defense by Rutgers as Pikett forced the turnover.
Good call by the official, and that's what that pressure's to do. Remember, there is no 10-second violation in women's basketball. There is a backcourt. Once you get it up, you can't go back, but no 10-second violation.
Here is T. Austin. Maloof in the corner, working against Brown, looking for Lender. Lender finds Pikett at the foul line, in and out. Rebound Austin, and it will be a new 30-second clock for Rutgers.
Rebound Austin off the tap by Sue Wicks, though. She really did a nice job on the offensive board.
Sue Wicks fighting for position. Austin comes to the foul line. Outside to Lender. Good defense here by Maryland. Pikett into Wicks. Sue with a great catch and shot.
What a great move that was, too, Lou, because she caught that ball almost as she was gone up, came down, never brought the ball down, kept her hand up. Nice play.
Right here, Holmes is in deep trouble. And they call it off of Rutgers as she made a heads-up move, knocked it off of Maloof.
But you notice it's a freshman getting in trouble against that press. It hasn't caused Myrna a whole lot of trouble, but last time she walked, this time she got caught in that trap.
Holmes, a freshman out of Berryville, Virginia. And she's getting tested this evening against that Rutgers press. Bounce pass, Winters, turnaround, good. Christy Winters has shown good shooting form here in the first half.
And great quickness. That's a super move. She really turns around with super quickness and almost like a little bit of a hook shot.
Winters with 6 of the 11 Maryland points. Here is Pikett. Out to Lender. Wicks off the pick. Yes.
Tough matchup with Campbell on Wicks. She gives up size. Wicks has great quickness to keep up with her. They set a little screen. She stepped out. Campbell got caught on the screen. Nice jumper by Wicks.
Rutgers by 7, 18-11. And traveling the call again against Maryland, and Chris Weller not real pleased with what's happening right there. Lynn Uston to the game for the first time this evening. Lynn, the freshman out of Hoffman High School in South Amboy. She's in the backcourt with Maloof. This is Ust with the basketball. Pikett around the horn to Maloof. A cutting Ust, lays it up, doesn't go, but the tip by Wicks.
And there's that offense again. They're really working on that baseline. Sue Wicks came around it before and scored. That time Ust came around, got a nice shot. Wicks was able to get the rebound.
Shot from the top of the key does not go. Rebound to Lender. Maloof. Rutgers has its largest lead. They're up by 9. And Pikett comes to the forecourt. Out to Wicks. Here is Ust. Fakes the shot. Turn around. Back to Wicks. Sue Wicks off the backboard in. And they call offensive foul. The basket will not count. It is an offensive foul against Sue Wicks.
Sue Wicks over there trying to convince the official, give me the foul, but at least count the basket. I think some of the fans want the same thing. And maybe Teresa does too. Interesting
on the sideline, Teresa telling Sue to go straight up when you take that shot and not lean forward. And that was the difference in the call. Bounce pass goes astray, and Pikett is fouled in the backcourt. The foul in the backcourt. Rutgers will inbound. Maloof with the basketball brings it up. Bounce pass, Pikett. Vicky pops, doesn't go. Rebound kept alive by Wicks. She tried the look-away pass to Pikett, and Maryland has a 2-on-1. Here is Brown, who lays it up. No good. Rebound. Bullet tied up by Wicks, traveling the call. You know, when you see Sue Wicks play, you just admire her more and more. Not only is she a tremendous offensive player, but a lot of people around the nation might not realize just how good of a defensive player she really is.
Well, she hustles. She never stops on both ends of the court. That's what makes her so effective.
Maloof hits the shot and draws the foul.
And that's a key, too. If your point guard can score, Maloof has been scoring at about 6 points per game, and she's got to get some points to make her that much more effective.
Rutgers has its largest lead, the Lady Knights, by 11, 22-11. Lender comes out, and into the game for Rutgers, Wendy Porter, 6'1" junior, the transfer out of Tucson, Arizona. Maloof's free throw is no good, but the rebound kept alive by Wicks. Maloof jumper, in and out. Rebound tapped around Porter to Pikett, who scores.
Just a great move inside and a great example of the job Rutgers is doing on the offensive boards.
Rutgers very impressive in this first half. They lead by 13. Keep in mind they are playing the number 12 team in the nation.
They're taking them right out of their game. Maryland just can't get started, can't get into anything.
Campbell in trouble, finds Holmes, moves in the paint, blocked by Wicks. Here is Ust. Looking for help, has it stolen, restolen by Wicks, tapped around, restolen, knocked out of bounds, and a foul on Maryland. No, they call the foul on Rutgers. It is Sue Wicks, and that is an important foul. It is their second of the game.
That was unfortunate. That was a loose ball. It was almost like the domino effect there. 2 or 3 players gone down on the floor, and it was a little bit late on that call.
And, excuse me, Dick Lender comes into the game. Wicks will sit down, and she's unhappy about that last call. Under 10 minutes remaining first half. Maryland looking to get that offense in gear. They trail by 13. Holmes moves in the paint and travels.
Rutgers playing a matchup defense here. Maryland is really having a tough time matching up against it and getting into their offensive flow. Teresa Grenz talking with Sue Wicks now.
Austin brings it up to the forecourt. Austin, lazy pass, which is stolen by Brown. She lays it up and in.
And almost did the same thing she did before. Instead of going up with that layup, she takes that little hop, tries to put her body in the defense, and almost missed that one again.
24-13 the score. Rutgers by 9. 9-12 remaining. Ust at the top of the key. Lynn moves left. Lender. Porter in the paint. Left-handed shot. Bounces around and out. Pikett scores and is fouled.
And she's really the difference in this game so far. She's just done a great job on that offensive board. Rutgers done a super job of running their offense. A lot of good movement, a lot of screens.
And Ricky Pikett will go to the line. She will attempt to complete the three-point play. Dick Linus sits down. Sue Wicks is coming back into the game.
Excuse me, Lou, the offensive rebound. 7 for Rutgers, 3 for Maryland. Big factor.
And the free throw good. Wicks comes in. And Pikett will sit down. So Rutgers goes with Wicks, Lender, and Porter up front. Maloof and Austin in the backcourt. 27-13, Tate in the paint scores. 27-15, a 12-point Rutgers lead. 8:45 remaining first half. Wicks turnaround off the glass.
And totally alone. There was a total defensive breakdown that time. Sue Wicks was alone in that low post.
Lisa Brown. Here's Carla Holmes. Finds an open Vicky Bullitt, who scores. A nice pass by Holmes.
And that's probably the first time that Bullitt has been open. That combination defense is doing a nice job of containing her.
29-17, 12-point Rutgers lead. Here's Porter at the foul line. Bounce past the Lender. Missy with a spinning move, but the shot is off. And Maryland comes down with a 2-on-1. Laid up and in by Bullitt, and a good transition basket that time by the Lady Terps.
Maryland down by 10, having a little trouble with their offense. Can look to that transition game a little bit to get them back into it.
29-19, 7:40 remaining. Wicks finds Maloof, left side, and then overthrows Wicks as Porter tries to save. It goes out of bounds. Pikett comes in, and Wendy Porter will sit back down for Rutgers. So a brief rest for Pikett. And Maryland has an opportunity to get that deficit down under 10. A quick burst to the basket by Dina Tate. Very nice move.
Her move the time before was the same way. She just puts the ball on the floor, has a great knack of penetrating.
Austin answers
with the same kind of move with a penetrating 1 or 2 dribble.
31-21, 10-point Rutgers lead. Holmes backs out, tries to go inside. Campbell puts up an off-balance shot, and Lender rebounds. Here is Maloof, quickly up court to Austin. Beautiful pass to Wicks, who has it partially deflected, and it will be jump ball. And on the alternating possession, Maryland will inbound.
So the Rutgers matchup has done a nice job of taking that inside game away. That last time down, they dropped it down inside. There were 2 Rutgers players. Made it very difficult to get that shot up.
Holmes tried to go inside, but too many Rutgers hands. Maloof lofts it up to Pikett. Bounce pass, Wicks, turn around, no good. And Wicks with the steal. Austin pulls up, pops, doesn't go. Rebound comes to Maryland, and the Lady Terps the other way. 2-on-2. Here is Brown in the paint. Offensive foul. Excellent defensive play by Maloof.
Great move by Janet. She just stuck that left foot in and just got it in time to draw that charge.
Let's take a look at that offensive foul and watch the defensive position by Maloof.
She'll be on the left side here. She's going to stick that left leg. Watch her. She just sticks that left leg right in, almost put the shoulder in a little bit there.
All right, there's a timeout on the court. 6 minutes and 19 seconds remaining here in this first half, and Rutgers in control. The score, the Lady Knights 31, Maryland 21.
and a half tons of some of the most effective firefighting equipment on wheels. Over 4,000 feet of hose, and the power to drown a fire was 750 gallons of water a minute. But without the firefighters to man her. Join your volunteer fire department. With your support, help is on the way.
Well, Rutgers has a 10-point lead. The Lady Knights have played well so far. Maryland having some troubles getting the ball inside, Dick. They just can't seem to get inside that Rutgers defense.
Well, I think it's the matchup. By matchup, we're saying they come down, take zones, match up against a player, but they're always looking to help out, and that makes it difficult when it goes inside. First of all, to get it in, and when it does go inside, there are 1 or 2 players to contend with the 1 offensive player.
All right, T. Austin hands to Maloof, and Janet will bring it up. 6:15 remaining first half, and Rutgers looks to increase its lead. Maloof moving against Brown. Finds Pikett. Sue Wicks from the foul line. Fires, doesn't go. Rebound, Maloof. In between 3 Maryland defenders. She moves foul line. Here's Pikett. Fakes, puts it up, and draws the foul. Vicky Pikett will go to the line one more time.
Vicky really takes it to the basket well. She's in that 8 to 10 foot area. You have to come out and play her. She goes around and she goes up very strong. Interesting to look at the field goal percentage. Rutgers 58%, Maryland 51%, but Maryland's losing the ball more than not getting that many shots.
Actually, it is a non-shooting foul. They say the foul before the shot. And of course, Maryland not over the limit yet. And Maloof loses the ball out of bounds. She's claiming she was fouled, but Rutgers will inbound. 16 fouls on Maryland, so 1 more and they will be over the limit. Wicks, great pass to Lender.
Super pass. And Rutgers has a great inside game with Missy Lender, Vicky Pikett, and Sue Wicks.
Tate loses in the lane. And Rutgers the other way. They lead by 12 with 5.5 remaining in the first half. Look to gain their largest lead if they can score on this possession. Here is Wicks, finds an open Maloof.
Wicks just done a nice job of giving herself up. She made that drive. She's always going to attract the defense. Gave it to Maloof. Maloof hit the nice jumper.
Lisa Brown from the top of the key. Holmes, bounce pass, good pass into Campbell, who lays it up. And a foul underneath, I believe, against Maryland. It might be against Winters. Nope, it's Vicky Bullitt who gets the personal. That's her second foul. Maryland over the limit, and the Terps will shoot. There's that great pass.
The great pass to Missy Lender inside. That defense will always go to Sue Wicks because they're concerned about her outside shot or her drive. She's hitting the open player today.
Sue Wicks at the line. She'll shoot 1 and 1. Wicks, an excellent free throw shooter at 85% on the year. See, as a team, they're shooting 70% from the line. Wicks misses the second.
Always the jinx.
And Pikett loses out of bounds. Rutgers by 15, 36-21.
To say anything about how a foul shooter is shooting, good or bad, they're going to miss that one.
Here is Holmes into Winters. Looks for the turnaround, shoots short. Wicks taps it up. Rebound knocked around underneath. Tate with an acrobatic shot off the backboard.
Great move. They're letting them play inside a little bit. There's an awful lot of contact.
Here is Austin, moves baseline and scores, and the foul. No! The foul on Austin. They wave the basket off.
Sue Wicks again looking. She wants the goal good, but that official called it one way and then decided, had a change of heart, changed it.
And Maryland has called a timeout. 4:30 remaining first half. Rutgers 36, Maryland 23.
There are many ways to say no. When it comes to drugs, know enough to say no. A public service announcement sponsored by the International Council of Shopping Centers.
As we come back, you see the Rutgers cheerleaders. They have a lot to be cheering about so far. Lady Knights impressive to this point, leading by 13.
I think Maryland, as I said before, really has to watch that transition game, because even though there's a foul last time down, that was again on the transition. Really pushed it down. Watch how the call gets changed. If that player is set before the offensive player goes up in the air, then the foul's on the offense. I think that was a good call.
All right, Maryland with an opportunity to whittle it down to 11. Here is Lisa Brown. She moves right and finds Holmes back up top. Terps looking to get the ball inside, having difficulty doing so. Here is Tate moving against Pikett. 7 seconds remaining on the 30-second shot clock, and Brown forces a shot up. Maloof intercepted by Tate. Tate dishes to Brown, who lays it in. Maloof, this time to Lender.
Obviously, Rutgers is looking to push that ball down.
Austin to Maloof, 3.5 remaining first half. Rutgers by 11, 36-25. Austin fires and hits. Up ahead to Brown. She pulls up and hits.
Tempo of the game picking up a little bit. Both teams looking to run.
38-27 Rutgers. 3:10 remaining. Maloof for three. No, they say just inside. Doesn't go. And Winters with a strong rebound. Quickly, Maryland up court. It is Holmes. Stops, dishes outside. Shot blocked by Wicks. Maryland will set up. Holmes moves to the paint, nearly has it stolen and now does. To 2-on-1, quickly up ahead to Austin. T lays it up and in.
Much easier to score it that way than come down and have to pass the ball around, run the risk of trying to drop it inside, get it stolen. Easy 2 points in that transition game.
13-point Rutgers lead, 40-27. Ball knocked around, last touch by Maryland. Lynn Ust back into the lineup for the Lady Knights, and T. Austin will sit down. So it's Ust and Maloof in the backcourt. Lender, Pikett, and Wicks up front for Rutgers. Lender to Wicks, baseline turnaround, good.
Maryland trying everything. They switch their defense. They're in a 1-2-2, extending that point.
It's a 15-point Rutgers lead, matches their largest lead of the game. 42-27. Under 2 minutes remaining. Winters, the turnaround, good, and Christie has perfected that shot here in the first half.
She sure has. I'm surprised, though, that the defense just isn't waiting for it, because it's almost automatic. As soon as she gets it, she turns to her left.
42-29. A minute and a half remaining. Cross-court pass, Pikett. Baseline jumper, in and out. Rebound knocked around. Maryland has a break. Here comes Brown, but Wicks is back. And the score, Lisa Brown.
That was a nice move by Brown. She saw Wicks there, and she positioned herself, so she just cut right in front of her and made a nice layup with the right hand.
And Maryland has cut it to 11. 42-31. A minute 10 remaining. That one knocked out of bounds by Brown, but they say the foul on Lisa Brown. That's her third foul of the game. Third personal on Lisa Brown. That could be a factor later on for the Terps.
That last time out, it was obvious that Maryland made two changes. One, they came out with a different look in their defense, lining up on 1-2-2, but Lisa Brown coming way out front, trying to put a little more pressure on Maloof, and also offensively trying to get the ball down and get it up more quickly.
Maloof 1-1. First is good. Janet, a 73% free throw shooter. Second, good. 44-31. 1 minute remaining, first half. Here is Bullitt to Tate. Foul line, finds Bullitt underneath. Slays it up, doesn't go. Rebound, doesn't go. Third rebound goes.
Teresa Grant's not too happy with that, giving Vicky Bullitt 3 shots.
Good play by Maryland, and then Maloof comes back the other way. I believe it will be Maryland's ball, as it was knocked out by Maloof.
I think he said Janet was stepped out when she hit the ball.
Edna Campbell will inbound, and she made the good defensive play just moments ago. Three-pointer. Lisa Brown, playing with 3 personal fouls, hits the three-pointer. And it's an 8-point Rutgers lead that quickly, 44-36. 20 seconds remaining first half. Austin has the ball kicked.
Just that little change in the defense, Lou, just extending it a little bit, is taking Rutgers out of their offensive game.
Cross court, almost intercepted. Pikett moves in the paint, puts it up, no good. Rebound Maryland. They have time. 11 seconds remaining. Bullitt. Shot no good, but underneath, shot good by Campbell. Edna Campbell scores before the buzzer, and I'll tell you, right now, Chris Weller, the head coach of Maryland, has to feel much better about things than she did a few minutes earlier, as Maryland who was once trailing by 15, has cut it to 6.
No question about that. Rutgers let them get back in the basketball game. They had a good chance to put them away there, go in with a commanding lead. And, of course, that happened in the last game, and Maryland came back, so they're never going to be out.
All right, we have come to halftime of our game between these two nationally ranked clubs. Your score, Rutgers 44, Maryland 38. We will be back with first half statistics and second half action.
We don't know why or where or when disasters will shatter lives. We do know why we're there, to put the pieces together, to reaffirm life. The Salvation Army, there because you care.
Welcome back to the Lewis Brown Athletic Center. Lou Brogno along with Dick Lloyd and the rest of the TKR Cable Sports crew. Our halftime score, Rutgers 44, Maryland 38. And Dick Lloyd, a very interesting first half of basketball. Rutgers got off to an excellent start. In fact, led by as many as 15 points. Looked like they might blow Maryland right off the court, but the Lady Terps did come back. And it's a much different game now than it was midway through the first half.
Well, Lou, Rutgers just took charge early. They got their momentum going. They really got into their offense. It looked like it was going to be a repeat of the first game where they're going to be up by 17 going into halftime. Maryland called that timeout. They changed the defense. They picked up the tempo in their offense, and I think that made the difference. The little extra pressure they put on the Rutgers point guard, I think, threw Rutgers out of their offense and gave Maryland a chance to get back in the game.
All right, first half statistics, very, very close. Rutgers shooting very well, 58% from the field, but Maryland also shooting just as well. Not much of a difference there.
Well, of course, a big factor, the turnovers, with Maryland having 7 more. Interesting that Maryland has not gone to the foul line, and I think that is an indication of the kind of defense that Rutgers is playing. It's not a man-to-man, so it's one person against another who's going to foul. They have a lot of help inside, so they have a tendency not to foul, and that's why Maryland's not going to the line.
Individually, Maryland got good offense from Christy Winters. He had 10 points. Brown with 9, Bullitt 6, and Tate 6, but Winters was the story inside with that little turnaround jumper.
Well, she's about the only player that's been able to score inside. Vicky Bullitt's been contained by that defense. And as you mentioned, she's got that little turnaround jump hook that's been very effective. She has 10. She's only averaging 12. On the other hand, Bullitt's averaging about 18-6. She only has 6.
For Rutgers, not too surprisingly, Sue Wicks leading the way with 16 points. Pickett with 11 and Austin with 10. You take a look, though, at Wicks, and you would never know that she had 16 points. She gets those points very quietly, doesn't she?
Well, that's because we got all wrapped up, too, in the nice passes she gave. She has a tendency, as I've said, to draw that defense to her. She'll find the open player. I think Missy Lender for Rutgers has to get in the offense. She's only has 2 points. She's averaging about 11 or 12 points. She could be a factor this second half. Rutgers, as you see, has won 38 straight games here on their home court. Their last loss to Penn State back in 1985, a distinct home court advantage for Rutgers. But still, Maryland trailing only by 6. And the Lady Terps do have the firepower. So this second half is wide open. Rutgers will be moving right to left on your screen. And the Lady Knights will inbound to begin the second half. Missy Lender will trigger. And she does so quickly up court to Austin. T pulls up for the jumper, doesn't go. And Maryland the other way. Lady Terps can cut it to 4. Campbell baseline. And a kick ball by Wicks. Edna Campbell will trigger underneath her own basket. This is Tate. Nice dish to Bullitt. Vicky Bullitt lays it in, and it's a 4-point ball game. Of course, that brought Sue Wicks way outside that time, and it opened up the middle for her to get it inside to Bullitt. Maloof has it stolen, and Maryland can cut it to 2. Here is Tate, dishes back to Bullitt, loses,
Tate gets it back and scores.
Maryland got lucky that time because that was a 3-on-1. Bullitt didn't handle it too well, but they recovered.
Maryland has scored the first 4 points of this second half. It is 44-42. Austin back to Maloof. Maloof, cross court, Austin. Pops, doesn't go. Rebound, Maryland, the Terps can tie. Tate with a nice tip pass over to Brown, pulls up for the jumper and scores. We are tied at 44.
Maryland coming out on a tear here. They're staying with that same defense they had. Lisa Brown out front at the point, going to pick up Janet Maloof almost as she comes over half court. Had a little bit more pressure.
Wicks turn around, in and out. Rebound knocked around, and Austin tracks it down. Out to Maloof. Bounce pass, Austin fires and doesn't go. Rebound knocked around, Wicks. Rutgers cannot buy a basket here in the second half, and Wicks throws it away.
Lou, if Rutgers does have a weakness, it's obviously their outside shooting.
And Maryland can take the lead for the first time this evening. Lisa Brown to the forecourt. Here is Tate being played by Maloof. Bounce pass knocked around, and Rutgers taps it over to Brown. Shot no good. Rebound underneath, and the foul is on Maryland. Vicky Bullitt. That's her third personal foul.
Rutgers defense again collapsing inside. Missy Lender working very hard on Winters since she had so many points the first half. She is fronting her every chance she gets.
First team foul, obviously, for the Terps here in the second half. Maloof to Austin. Into Wicks. Baseline turnaround, no good. Rebound, Pickett. Puts it up and in. First basket of the second half for Rutgers.
And Lou, that's Rutgers' strength. Not a great outside shooting club, but very strong inside and great off the offensive glass.
The Lady Knights have regained the lead. They lead by 2 as Campbell moves baseline and draws the foul. So Edna Campbell will go to the line, 5'8" sophomore out of Pittsburgh. She will shoot 2, and she has an opportunity to tie this game back up. .17:36 remaining here in the second half, and she hits the first. It's a 1-point game. Rutgers led by as many as 15 in the first half, but Maryland has come fighting back. Second good. We are tied at 46. And the Lady Knights will move it across. Maloof quickly up to Austin. Back to Maloof. Into Wicks, forced. It's a 3-on-1 for Maryland. And quickly Campbell loses the dribble. Dishes back to Tate, blocked by Wicks. Here is Pickett to Austin. Beautiful pass to Lender, who lays it in.
Great move, helped Rutgers get that momentum back. Maryland missed it down the other end. They had the perfect opportunity for the 2.
Quickly up court. Here is Brown, fires from outside and hits. Lisa Brown averaging 16 points a game coming in. Cans 2 from the outside. We are tied at 48, just under 17 remaining second half. Wide open, Pickett on the baseline, strong move, but it doesn't go. Gets her own rebound, no good. Lender scores. And that is the third foul on Sue Wicks. Suzanne Cooper into the game for Rutgers.
I said as we started the second half, Missy Lender had to get in the offense. She has so far 4 points, 2 baskets.
Maloof sits down. Wicks, I thought, was coming out, but she's still in there. 10 seconds on the 30-second shot clock. Campbell double team Pikett with the block and the steal. Cooper into Wicks. Cross court, Austin look away to Pikett. Moves, baseline, doesn't go. Lender fouled underneath by Deanna Tate. Good position that time by Missy Linder.
It's interesting to watch Maryland when they practice today. They really work hard on the blockouts, and the coach likes them to be very, very aggressive. And Deanna Tate a little too much there.
Rutgers by a bucket, 50-48, 15 and a half remaining. Wicks with a tough shot, does not roll in. Pikett puts it up and in.
And that's their strength again, inside. Wicks, instead taking the outside shot, took it to the hoop. Pikett, of course, with a great offensive rebound.
Tate to Brown. Bullitt, here is Tate. Inside, Vicky Bullitt, the turnaround too hard, and the foul is on Pikett. Vicky Pikett coming in from behind.
And Vicky Bullitt having a tough time getting into the offense for Maryland.
That's her second foul, the third team foul on Rutgers. Tate, cross court, Campbell in the paint, finds an open Brown, baseline jumper good.
And she does have the nice jumper. We realize too, Carla Holmes in there now, and she's got that 3-point range, so we'll have to see if she gets some up from that range.
Rutgers by 2, 52-50. Here is Wicks, turnaround short. And it's a 2-on-1 for Maryland. Brown stops, pops, doesn't go. Own rebound off the glass, doesn't go. Knocked away, Winters puts it up, but the basket good by Carla Holmes. We are tied at 52. Maloof bounce pass, Wicks, turnaround, short. Rebound, Holmes. Knocked away by Austin and the steal. Up ahead to Pikett. Lays it up, no good. Rebound tapped around by Wicks, Maryland the other way. Carla Holmes stops as T. Austin confronts her.
Maryland giving Rutgers some of their own game now with that transition.
Beautiful pass to Winters, who lays it in. Tate with a great pass. Maryland has taken its first lead of the game. The Lady Terps lead by 2, 54-52. Wicks, turnaround, short. Pikett rebounds, loses. Maryland with the basketball, and Brown loses out of bounds.
Pikett again on the offensive board. Maryland again looking for the fast break.
Sue Wicks will sit down, and she is struggling with her shooting here in the second half.
So if Rutgers had a player, you know, that pure jumper, maybe the 13 to 15 foot range, this whole left side is open where Janet is right now.
Maloof takes that shot, does not connect. Maryland can get its largest lead. You mentioned Sue Wicks struggling in the second half, 0 for 6. This is Campbell. Tate. Cross court, Pikett picks it off and travels.
Maryland getting a little sloppy on their passes, as you mentioned. That was a cross court, and it wasn't over top either. It was straight through, just too far to throw that directed pass.
Traveling against Holmes. And Rutgers will have an opportunity to tie on this possession. Just under 13 minutes remaining, second half. Maloof, cross court, Cooper, inside Linder, lays it up and in. Nice pass by Suzanne Cooper. Winters scores, and the foul on Cooper. Christy Winters with a strong move to the basket.
Just the opposite of the way she likes to turn. She likes to turn the other way, but that time she went straight to the hoop, and it was a great move, and she had a mismatch in size, and she took advantage of that.
And Winters is at the line, and she will attempt to complete the three-point play. She does, and Maryland has its largest lead. The Lady Terps by 3, 57-54, 12 and a half remaining. Here is Maloof. Cooper has it knocked back to her. Bounce pass, Pickett. Baseline maneuver. Doesn't go, but she does draw the foul.
She's going to be tough, Lou. You have to remember she's only a freshman, and she plays with a lot of authority inside.
This is Christy Winters.
Winters, that great move.
She has played a strong game. Cooper sits down for Rutgers, and Wicks back into the game. Pickett's first free throw, no good, off the back of the iron. Second on the way, good. So she hits 1 of 2. It's a 2-point game. 57-55 Maryland. Full court pressure applied by Rutgers. In trouble. Here's Holmes, Winters, Lisa Brown. Bounce pass inside, Winters lays it in. Great pass by Holmes.
Maryland now, this second half, being much more effective in getting that ball inside.
4-point Maryland lead, 59-55. Maloof, Pickett. Maloof puts it up, no good. Maryland rebound. Up quickly to Brown, Lisa Brown lays it up, no good. Rebound Austin. Here's Maloof. An easy 2 points for Maryland. They could not convert. Lender, baseline jumper, good.
Lender picking up all that offensive slack now for Rutgers and keeping them in this thing.
59-57, Maryland by 2. Winters, baseline, no good. Rebound, Wicks. And Rutgers can tie on this possession. Austin fires, no good. Still a 2-point Maryland lead. Carla Holmes quickly up court. Stops, pops, doesn't go. Gets her own rebound, puts it up, no good. Rebound, Pickett. Again, Rutgers can tie.
3 times down, Maryland had the opportunity and could not convert it.
Teresa Grants not happy with the way things are going in this game. Calls for a timeout. 10 minutes, 37 seconds remaining second half. Maryland 59, Rutgers 57.
Smoking can become a real burden, dragging you down, always getting in the way. And the longer you smoke, the heavier it gets. You know you should quit. Maybe you've even tried once or twice. But just when you think you're free, it's back again. The important thing is you can quit. Over 36 million smokers have. So keep trying. Get smoking off your back and out of your life for good.
There you see the Rutgers bench. They're gathered around head coach Teresa Grants. And her team had led by 15 in the first half. They trail by 2. You know, you talk about Rutgers letting Maryland get back into the game, but you also have to give credit to the Maryland Ball Club. They really have fought their way back.
Oh, I think so. This part of the half they did. First half, I think Rutgers let them back in because Rutgers was in control. But the second half has been a different story. Maryland has been in control and really giving Rutgers some of their own medicine with the transition game and the great defense coming up with the steals. Rutgers only shooting 28% for this half, Maryland 62%.
Lender pulls the trigger. Here's Austin. Back to Malou. T. Austin into Wicks. Wicks with an acrobatic shot from the left side. Puts it in. Finally, Sue Wicks getting into the Rutgers offense, and Brown loses the ball out of bounds.
Maryland having trouble against that Rutgers press. They almost had it before, just not quite sure what they're doing with it. And awfully long passes. They got to shorten them up a little bit, get someone in the middle.
Tied at 59, and Rutgers can regain the lead as we approach the 10-minute mark. Here is Pickett. Maloof around the horn to Austin. Inside Wicks. Beautiful pass to Lender.
Well, Missy Lender found something in the locker room at halftime, because she's really come out to play a great game here, and that was a super pass we don't want to forget from Sue Wicks.
Rutgers by a bucket. Wicks knocks it away, but Holmes regains. Carla Holmes moves towards the paint, in trouble. Outside to Tate. Lisa Brown. Tate loses to Wicks. Outlet Lender, up ahead Austin. T lays it up, no good. Each team now has missed an easy chip shot. Tate. Holmes finds an open bullet. Back to Holmes, jump shot good. We're tied at 61. 9 minutes, 10 seconds remaining, second half.
Vicki Bullitt having a tough time getting in that Maryland offense.
Austin. Bounce pass, Wicks. Baseline turnaround, too hard. Pickett with a rebound in the basket.
What a great rebound, and that was a physical rebound too. Up with two hands and straight back up. She is tough inside.
63-61, Rutgers by 2. Vicki Bullitt back out to Brown for 3. No good. Wicks rebound, loses, but a foul underneath on Deanna Tate. And Chris Weller barking out some instructions to her backcourt. Suzanne Cooper back in for T. Austin.
Offensively, Rutgers needs some firepower from the outside. That could open up their game tremendously.
That a kick ball. And Rutgers will inbound in front of their own bench. Here's Cooper. Maloof. Bounce pass, Wicks lays it up too hard. Loses the ball and out of bounds. Last touch by Maryland. Rutgers regains possession. Cooper, jump shot, good.
That's a spot that's open, that left-hand corner. And Cooper is a 42% shooter, but she hit that one.
Cross-court, Brown, baseline jumper, good.
That was a nice play against that defense from one side over top rather than straight through.
65-63. Rutgers by a bucket. Here's Maloof. Lender cross-court. Cooper fires short. Rebound knocked around, and Maryland comes down with it. Tate almost loses her balance, but regains. And here's Carla Holmes quickly up court. A rifle pass inside, which went off of the hands of Edna Campbell. A little bit too much mustard on that one.
It was a rifle pass. They were working on that this afternoon too. They really work on that ball handling, but it came through a lot of traffic too, and I think she lost it.
Austin back into the game. Cooper will sit down. Pickett. Maloof open. Hits.
Maryland almost daring her to take it. They're giving those outside shots, saying, prove you can hit them before we're coming out. We've got to slough off to control that inside game.
Lisa Brown, 67-63, Rutgers. Brown for three. Yes. Nope, they say 2 points. 2-point shot. 67-65, just under 7 minutes remaining. Bounce pass, Austin. Wicks at the foul line. Maloof open, fires, way off. Rebound, Pickett. Turn around off the glass.
What a great offense. Throw that ball up and let Pickett go get it.
Holmes loses. Pickett to Maloof. Bounce pass, Austin, left side, lays it in. Rutgers back up by 6, 71-65. 6 minutes remaining in the second half. And the foul on Lender, reaching in against Vicky Bullitt.
You got to think Bullitt's going to come alive soon. I mean, she's one of their leading players, leading scorer, moves well inside, has a nice jumper, and yet she hasn't done a thing offensively.
Now Maryland will go with a bigger lineup here as Christy Winters comes in and replaces Carla Holmes.
Getting Carla Holmes out, a good move against this pressure. She's a freshman. She's had a little trouble handling it.
Winters outside. Here is Tate, who puts one in off the glass.
Banged it off the glass,
yeah.
But she does drive with authority. She does penetrate very well. She has that quick 1-2 dribble and gets inside.
5.5 remaining, 71-67. Maloof. Lender inside, Wicks lays it in.
Bullitt tried to draw that charge instead of putting her hands up.
Rutgers by 6, 5:15 remaining. Tate, Campbell, fadeaway, no good. Rebound underneath, and good. Bullitt with the basket and the foul. That is Sue Wicks on the foul, and that should be her third personal. Actually, her fourth personal foul on Wicks. 6-team foul in the Lady Knights. And Vicky Bullitt to the line, averaging 18.8 coming in. She connects on the three-point play. It's a three-point game. 73-70 Rutgers with 5 minutes even remaining. Lynn Uston to the game now for the Lady Knights. Maloof for three. Tate loses the foul on Rutgers in the backcourt.
Rutgers in a little bit of trouble, obviously, with Sue Wicks with 4 because she is so important to that offense. Not only the fact she's going to score, but she's going to have the defense double teaming and give some shots to other players.
And with Rutgers over the limit, Maryland will be shooting from now on. And Dina Tate goes to the line. One and one, hits the first. It's a 2-point game. And the second on the way, and good. 1 point, Rutgers lead, 73-72, 7:40 remaining. Excuse me, 4:40 remaining. Austin outside, in and out. Rebound Maryland. Terps can take the lead. Here comes Brown, 3-on-2. Nice pass over to Holmes, who laid it up, no good. Rebound knocked underneath. And coming out with it is Tate. Tate moves in the paint, puts it up, no good. Winters scores.
Winters playing a great game. That was twice she was on that offensive glass.
74-73, 4 minutes remaining. Bounce pass Maloof. Here's Wicks baseline. Inside Pickett, lays it in.
On the pass from Wicks. Give her an assist on that one.
Rutgers regains the lead in what is now a seesaw battle, 75-74. Tough move, Vicky Bullitt on the baseline.
Great move with Vicky Pikett right on her back. She took her up with her. Thought she might have gotten a foul out of it.
76-75 Maryland. 3.5 remaining. Here's Maloof, cross court Austin. Ust to Austin. Ust, baseline, jumper, good!
Took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to say, Ust hasn't been with us on that court for a while. Put her in to look for that outside shot. She came through.
That's a pressure shot for a freshman in this situation.
But Rutgers needs that outside scoring so badly.
Inside, Winters is open and scores. 78-77, Maryland. 3 minutes remaining.
Defensive breakdown by Rutgers there. Winters all alone underneath.
Knocked away by Brown. Lynn Ust will sit down and Lender will come in. Ust contributed. Hit a very important jumper. Austin, baseline. Back to Wicks, into Lender, puts it up, no good, tapped around, Pickett, jump ball. And it will be Rutgers' possession on the alternating possession. Lender inbounds to Austin. Austin, bounce pass, Wicks lays it in.
That was nicely done. Great pass from T. Austin inside to Sue Wicks, who had great position.
79-78. Rutgers by 1. 2:20 remaining. Campbell, left side. Blocked by Wicks. Loses, and it will be a jump ball. This time Maryland will get the ball on the alternating possession. Sue Wicks really banged up on that play. And Coach Grentz wants a timeout, and she'll get it. 2 minutes, 4 seconds remaining. Rutgers 79, Maryland 78.
Dr. Eric Knutson is a March of Dimes grantee at California's Stanford University. Dr. Knutson studies the hearing of owls. If he can discover how it works, develops, and adapts to hearing impairments, he will gain insight into human hearing and deafness. Such basic knowledge may one day help bring sound to babies who are born deaf. Research is an A1 priority in the March of Dimes fight against birth defects.
Support the March of Dimes.
As we come back, let's take a look at that last sequence which just occurred. Kind of a wild sequence leading to the jump ball. Well, actually the alternating possession and then the timeout.
Coming right after Sue Wicks' block, she had a great block, picked up the ball, started to go down, got caught from behind, and that's what created that melee there.
The leading scorers so far, Vicky Pickett for Rutgers, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 1 block shot, playing very well. Winters for Maryland, 21 points, 6 rebounds. This one, I believe, Dick Lloyd, is going to go right down to the wire.
Just like the first game, it was Rutgers' pressure in the end that enabled them to win it last time. Let's see if it's the pressure that comes through for them this time.
So, seems to be some kind of disagreement or something to be cleared up in front of the scorer's table. Coach Grentz and Coach Weller there talking to the officials. And maybe the question is on the alternating possession. I don't think it would be. Clearly Maryland's possession. All right, here's the situation. 2 minutes, 4 seconds remaining. Maryland, trailing by 1, has an opportunity to take the lead. Tate gets it into Brown. Lisa Brown will set it up, and we are at 2 minutes even in the second half. Edna Campbell forces one up, no good. Wicks with the rebound. Not a good shot by Campbell that time. Big trip down the floor for Rutgers this time as they look to increase that lead to 3. Maloof to Pickett. Austin, Wicks in the paint, scores.
No question they went to the right person. Smart basketball, get it inside to your scorer who's 9-10 feet from the basket.
3-point Rutgers lead, 81-78, 1:20 remaining. Winters to Campbell. Winters to Brown. Campbell in the corner. 9 seconds on the 30. Winters puts it up, no good. Bullet with a rebound and a basket underneath. 81-80, 1 minute remaining. Here is Austin with the bounce pass to Maloof. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Pickett to Austin. 45 seconds remaining. Wicks baseline.
She does everything. She scores inside. If they need it from the outside, she has to step outside and be their scoring threat from the outside also.
34 seconds remain. 83-80 Rutgers. Tate. Winters, 10 seconds. Three-pointer, good! Brown hits the three-pointer. We are tied at 83. 15 seconds remaining. Maloof brings it up. Timeout, Rutgers. Teresa Grentz calls for time. 11 seconds remaining. We will keep it here. Well, you talk about a clutch three-point shot. That was it.
That was a great shot, but she has taken that before. She is a good shooter. It was a smart play. Rutgers now ball, 11 seconds. The game is in their favor because they're doing so well inside. They've got enough time that they don't have to worry about just getting it in and throwing up the outside shot where they're not as consistent. They're obviously going to be looking for Wicks, or if they get it to Wicks, she knows if she's got 2 on her, she'll have Lender or Pike it inside.
Now, what do you do if you're Maryland in this situation? What can you do defensively?
Well, I think they're going to do the same thing they've done before, play a little bit of that matchup, so they're going to have 2 players inside. If it comes inside, everybody just dropping back. You're almost daring them to shoot from the outside. Don't extend too much. They're not a great offensive threat from beyond 10 feet, so you want to pack it inside and make sure if it does come in, you can try and pop the ball loose.
There's a lot on the line in this game. Obviously, Rutgers ranked number 9 in the nation at 12-3. Maryland 13-3 at number 12. But also, remember, Rutgers has won 38 straight games on this floor. And of course, that streak is in jeopardy at this point. Also, keep in mind, in college basketball, should the game end in a tie, we will play a 5-minute overtime. And Rutgers obviously would like to end it here. And it all unfolds in the next 11 seconds. Pickett will inbound.
Well,
11
player
seconds.
on Sue Wicks right away.
Looking to get it in trouble, calls for time, and gets the timeout. Almost a 5-second violation against Rutgers. And very good defense by Maryland that time.
Well, Edna Campbell came right out. She went right to Sue Wicks, stayed right on her. It would have been interesting to see whether they're going to play a boxing one, which may have thrown it off a little bit. You know that Rutgers is going to be trying to get the ball to Wicks, but first they have to get it in bounds. They might have to try a little out of bounds play on that sideline to get it in.
Rutgers has 17 fouls. Now, Maryland only has 14 fouls. Keep that in mind at this point. So, the Terps could foul that would not send Rutgers to the line.
They're not going to want to do that. What they're going to want to do is play tough. They can play a little bit more aggressive, and maybe they get away without the foul.
Right.
Playing aggressive now is not going to be as dangerous, but they're not going to go out and take one intentionally.
There's the Scarlet Knight getting the crowd pumped up. I don't think they need it at this point. They have seen a tremendous basketball game, and to no one's surprise, I think most people were surprised in the first half when Rutgers led by 15, but certainly not now. Austin will trigger. Tied at 83, 11 seconds remaining. Austin looks to get it in. Here's Maloof. Drives, lays it up, puts it up and in! 7 seconds remaining. And a timeout called Maryland. What a shot by Maloof, and probably the most unlikely person to take that shot.
It's a great move. She comes from the right side, comes all the way around to the left side of the basket, and hooks it back up. It was a great move. They didn't expect that, I'm sure. They were all over Wicks, but Maloof is great with the basketball, and if she can penetrate and get in, she's a tremendous offensive player.
Now, Dick, you don't think that was a design play? It looked like Maloof saw the opening and went.
I think the play is get the ball with Maloof, and as she's, with the ball in her hand, she can create in that situation, and so you got a lot that can happen. In that case, she just took it all the way in. You had a mismatch with Edna Campbell, who's 5'8", playing Wicks, and if they had gotten in trouble or she hadn't had it there, I'm sure she could have gotten it inside the Wicks, and Wicks would have surely been able to score with that mismatch.
Now, of course, that's past history. Let's talk about what will occur now.
Well, what's going to occur now that we should point out first, and I looked at the clock as that was happening. It did look like a few seconds wound down, but I agree with Pat, Coyle, and Kathleen, who are the Rutgers assistants, who are talking to the officials now, and what they're saying is it shouldn't be 7 seconds. I agree with that. I'd go to 5. 5 or 4 would be on there, but I'd go for 5. I saw 2 of them tick off after she had indicated the timeout, but not 7. But it looks like Maryland's getting the full 7 on the clock.
All right, now 7 seconds. Is that enough time for Maryland?
Absolutely. Much better than the 3, obviously, but 7 is good enough time to get that ball down and try and get it inside. They're not going to have a lot of time with 7. They might have to try for that 3-pointer and then go to the boards.
Maryland will inbound. They'll have to go the full length in 7 seconds. Holmes will trigger. And now in trouble. And I believe Maryland did get the timeout in time. Good defense by Rutgers. So the wheels continue to turn.
And that's a freshman again that had that ball on the end line. Carla Holmes, who's had trouble turning it over. I'm surprised she would be the one handling on that end line. They brought no one up, so everyone was long. It was easy for Rutgers to play them because it had to be a long pass. If it was going to be a long pass, it had to be perfect. No one was open.
So the thinking there, I guess, by Maryland is to try to get the ball to at least near midcourt with 1 pass?
Well, they're trying to because of the little time left, but again, that's an awfully dangerous pass to make with Rutgers coming out and pressuring them.
A good crowd here at Rutgers, an enthusiastic crowd, and they have seen good basketball, and this is top caliber basketball, top 20 basketball at its best.
But Maryland this time is going to have to bring someone down, bring a couple players down, set a little screen, pop the player loose, then turn and look long, and if you don't have the long pass, drive it down yourself and put it up. I'd like to get the ball in Lisa Brown's hands myself. Carla Holmes, the freshman we talked about on the end line, is out. We got the bigger player now, real capable of looking over Lender and throwing that long pass.
The crowd on its feet, and Bullitt gets it in. Here's Winters looking for someone. Knocked away by Austin, out of bounds. Last touch by Rutgers. Last touch by Rutgers. Maryland will throw in with 3 seconds remaining. And a timeout, Maryland. Well, now you have different strategy. 3 seconds remaining, but Maryland will have the ball underneath their own bucket.
Now they've got to have an out-of-bounds player, too, that can pop them loose. And if they're going to pop loose, they're going to have to pop loose for the 3-point or go inside for the tie, because Rutgers certainly isn't going to foul. I'd take either one if I was Maryland right now.
In case you've tuned in late, a terrific ball game in which Rutgers got off to a great start, led by 15 in the first half. Maryland cut it to 8 at halftime, took the lead in the second half. Maryland led by as many as 3 here in the second half. And now you have this. Rutgers by 2. Maryland with the basketball. They will throw in with 3 seconds remaining.
No timeout for either team. I think I'd like to play for the inside shot if I got an out-of-bounds play, and that it depends on, you don't design one right now. You have to have 2 or 3 of them. If they've got one that creates the opening inside, I think that's what I'd look for. If I can't get it inside, then I'd throw it out and throw the desperation three-pointer out.
Interesting situation with no timeouts for either team. Now, if Maryland cannot get the ball in on the inbound, they're in trouble.
They're in a lot of trouble, and that's why they got to run an out-of-bounds play.
All right, Rutgers defensively with Pickett, Lender, Maloof, Austin, and Wicks, the starting five, and pulling the trigger, Edna Campbell for Maryland. 3 seconds remaining. Now Tate will take over and throw in. Tate looks to get in, does. Here's Holmes at the buzzer. It's short, and Rutgers wins. Maryland looking for an offensive foul call.
Well,
looking for a foul call, but didn't get it.
He gave the call, and then he figured it was over, so there's no sense because it was meaningless at that point.
All right, your final score, Rutgers 85, Maryland 83, and just a terrific ball game.
Well, we said the two teams were very similar, that when you have the national rankings on the line, it was going to be a good basketball game, and I don't think anyone can go away from this game disappointed. But if we look at that last play, they were playing to take it inside. Even if they had it outside, which they got it, instead of stepping back for the three-point, they put it on the floor, tried to take it in.
All right, so that'll do it. Rutgers continues its home winning streak. It now stretches to 39. It wasn't easy, but they did win.
And I'll bet you feel a lot better about that instead of putting the jinx on there. As many times as you mentioned that streak, they came out of that one all right.
It reaches 39. Rutgers improves their season record now to 13-3, and that number 9 ranking fairly safe. And Maryland drops to 13-4. That'll do it from the Lewis Brown Athletic Center. A reminder that our next Rutgers broadcast will be next week. We'll have a doubleheader. The Scarlet Knights in action against one of the top teams in the nation, the Temple Owls. And then the Lady Knights going up against the Lady Monarchs of Old Dominion. Should be a good ball game as well. So for Dick Lloyd and the rest of the TKR Cable Sports crew, I'm Lou Brogno. Thank you very much for joining us. Once again, your final, Rutgers 85, Maryland 83.